let's get going. Damn. He dropped something. I had to go get it. Man, what a pain. Sucking ass. Lame. Lame. I forgot what killed me up there last time. Angel. Hey, Bren. Oof. Alright, let's see. There we go. There we go. Is there anything else up here? Yep. It's weird that there's like somber twos. You know what I mean? You'd think there would be like more interesting stuff. Oof. Oh, come on. I know I can get over there. There we go. Huh. What do you think? I can get him in one hit? Yep. Alright. I don't think there's anything else there. I seem to remember there being stuff down here. Yep. Shit. Be awesome if you changed the sword like I asked you to like 6 times. Holy cow, that stomp. That's crazy. What is up? That's crazy. Holy cow. And that's like all my FP to get here. What am I supposed to do about that guy? That's nuts. Please tell me that's the last of the things before I find a point. That's crazy. It can't be all my FP and healing to get to this point. Apparently it can. Jesus. That's crazy. Oh, and there's something up there, isn't there? Nope, okay. I don't have what I need to get past this guy. That's fucking nuts. What the hell? I can't be... I've literally cleared the entire game up until... I mean, except killing Elden God and all that, right? Elden Beast. That just seems nuts. You know? Alright, FP. I guess I just need more. $198. It just seems crazy to me. Is there something that makes spells use less FP? That's the big question. Crank up my int. Breath attacks, potency. Lowers FP consumed by skills, which I don't think that includes casting. Don't do enough crits for that to be worthwhile. I don't know. I guess it must be that. I don't think there's anything that reduces the cost of spells. Crazy. Oh, why did he have to drop something? This is my compulsion. This is the thing that I can't avoid. I'm weak. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to, like... There's that guy down there, and I really don't want to trigger him. has to get up there. Really? I'm actually just trying to be FP conservative. You know what I mean? Because that whole process just ate all my FP. It's a bigger FP game, but it's a lot of effort to change it in and out. That's gonna hurt. Now I've got FP at least. Hold on. Alright, nothing here. I just wanted to make sure. Now, there's a guy here. Now I've got a completely different fight to deal with, which is that guy up ahead. Now... nice if you dodged when I told you to. Jesus. That was crazy. Alright. Back to there. Back to there. Please give me a sight of grace soon. There's got to be something. Thank goodness. We're actually going to rest there. So, if I remember correctly, there's a fight in the next room. And there's a bunch of stuff back around that way. Didn't kill it. Oops. Alright. Yeah, nothing here. Man, something about this has me concerned. I guess we'll find out in a moment. Hello, climb. One thing I've noticed is most people, when they do these, seem to use heavy weapons. And I guess they want those big, massive smashes. I don't know what that does. Come on, there must be a reason for coming out here. Oh, I know where I am. So this takes me back to this spot, which is where that guy is, who is going to take a rain of gravity. rain of lava. Wah, wah, wah. Lame. I love how this guy's like hiding. Apparently I need to do my rain from here. Oh, that rat bastard. Really? It's more comedic than anything else, you know? All right. Oh, hold on. Careful. There's nothing down there. All right. I'm pretty sure this means that I have to fight a boss. Don't want that. Don't want that. Don't want that. Want that. This boss uses multiple forms of magic. If it's the one I think it is. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Medium, alright. And just gonna rest. Rejuvenate. To Dung Eater or not to Dung Eater? Marionette soldiers. Oh, that feels cheap. Die. Aw. Alright, Marionette Soldiers definitely kept the boss busy. I just couldn't lay enough damage into it. Not sure what the fix for that is. I don't know that that mattered. See if that helps my damage taking. I'm going to try... Yeah, let's do that. Come to think of it. So, Poise Break is handy. What I'm not sure of is if... I probably want to use this later. I do. Tish is really good in most fights. No shade. I'm pretty sure my first playthrough was Tish. No question. In fact, basically with Tish, you only have to kill 90% of the boss, not 100% of the boss, because of the Black Flame, whatever, ability. The problem is when Tish is the target and they're getting hit, that's the key, because sometimes they're just not getting hit, they're fragile, right? I mean, they're tougher than you are in terms of how much damage they can take, but they can get beaten down pretty quick. I really like Tish on the Malenia fight, if you excuse me, because of the damage output, right? She doesn't hit Tish very much, and so she's not healing. But in many cases, with this boss, they do so much area damage that Tish is going to get hit no matter where they are. I may give it a try. I'm curious. I know that the Marionette Soldiers will do well, except I have to have enough damage output so that the Marionette Soldiers can survive. You notice that once the Marionette Soldiers were gone, this boss turned to me, and then it's a whole nother... then it turns into a physical fight, and that's not what I'm good at. What I'm debating is they only broke stance once, and I was rock slinging constantly. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to stance break them. I'm going to try this set of cracked tier, and I'm just going to use it later. Hold on, I do need to make one shift here. Borderless window lets the mouse fade off, and I really don't want that. Yep, keep these settings. Oh, I can get a helper. Ah, you bet your bottom dollar I want a helper. That actually tells me then I want to go back to the Marionette Soldiers. The Marionette Soldiers are... nobody talks about them. They are unbelievably awesome as a Spirit Ash. They have actually soloed bosses while I was trying to get set up to start doing my thing. Boss was dead. Oh, nope, damn it. Sorry, that's an old key. That's the sound of me trying to jump. Messy. Alright. No, they just... I'm gonna try... Actually, let's do Mimic. Hold on. Did I upgrade Mimic? Yeah, Mimic's 10. And Mimic's great. The Tish, Mimic... Dung Eater, they're all excellent spirit summons. There's just no arguing that. Oh, ow. Ow, ow. Oh no. So, yeah, that was dumb. Normally, I made a change, and I have just not fat finger corrected it yet. Sorry. And summoning the Cooperator makes the boss tougher for sure. now I'm going after... now I'm going to try and use that break to break poise right here. That's what I was hoping to do. Drink, drink. Uh-oh. Jump, jump, jump. Come on. I'm jumping. Yeah, it's the spinning weapon. Although I have purposefully used spinning weapon. When a mob's poise is broken and it's low health, it can actually be good. You push into him and you just go... and it just hits him a whole bunch. Alright. When it's hitting me, it's hitting with what? That's magic, right? That's just straight magic. See if I can survive it with that. Oh, you know what? Why not? Alright. Helper. And I'm not going to use the moon unless it's one of those opportune big hit moments. I'm just going to go straight to Rock Sling. That feels cheap. I had it cooperate with it, right? I summoned the Mimic, didn't I? I pressed it. Well, there went 50,000 runes. I mean, 5 bird kills. But yeah, the spinning, it's actually interesting. It'll use... I got nothing to lose. It'll actually, surprisingly, it'll use... hold on. Stuff that you won't normally use, like seeing the lava. Okay. Thank you. It's like, well, if you hit that thing again. Remembrance of the Twin Moon Night. I remember trying to make those swords work. Oh, it's right there. That's funny. I remember trying to make those swords work. And I just... It's not my thing, you know? Funny thing is, I put on the magic one. Hold on. 18,000. Really? Alright, 18,000. 15. There's 20. I need more FP. Actually, I need more survivability, but in lieu of that, more FP. Yeah. Mushroom. Hmm? That was weird. I abandon here my heart.
Hello again. Did you meet my compatriots? They're quite the congregation. From places as far, and doubtless it'd have all come to blows at first, were it not for the charm kindly Mikola put upon us.
Kindly Mikola, huh?
This is what allows us the work of a Wondering about the horns, true enough? Long ago, Queen Marika commanded Sir Mesmer to purge the Tower folk. A cleansing by fire. It's no wonder the Hornsent holds the Erdtree in contempt. That aside,
Yeah.
man is by nature a creature, and in this regard, the Tower folk, they were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war, but it's still a wretched shame. Wondering about the horn, true enough? Long ago, a cleanse, it's no wonder that aside, and in this regard, they were never saints. They just happened to, but it's still a
I didn't touch it yet.
You have a knack for timing, my fellow. I found the site of a new cross. Mikola has said as much himself. He wishes now to throw it all away. He says the act, though undoubtedly painful, will sear clean the Erdtree's wanton sin. The truth of his claim can be found at is evidence enough to earn my belief. Go to in that forsaken place. Blood must spill. Go to the in that forsaken.
The Golden Order is fascism in the worst way. It is not goodly. Oh, I spent a lot of time trying to kill that guy. And then I learned about the item crafting and making the pot. And then I had to go learn how to make it. But once I did, guy became a lot easier. There's a spot you can get high enough up if you can drag him to it where you can huck pots into it. There are one or two of them that you can just auto-kill from a cliff by tossing 3 of those pots into them. But there is only one place to farm. It's actually up over near that guy. There's only one place to farm the... what is it? The furnace visage. There's only one place you can farm them, and you only typically get 1 or 2 each time, and it takes a few minutes. But if you can build the pots, hefty fire pot. All right, not the one I need. Man, ugh, gross. It's icky looking. Alright. I don't know if I can reach either one of those. But it looks like I can reach that one. Alright, did I mess with my equipment? I did. So I keep switching back and forth between whether or not I want to use the Gelmir Glintstone Staff as an offhand because I use lava as much as I do. I don't like having my bow on my main hand is the problem, and I don't have enough slots. So, let's see. Uh-oh. Ask me if I'm sorry about doing that. Here's the funny thing about it. If I can get this right, I can get this guy really mad. Come on, Slim. There it is. Oh, look. Oh, no. Oh wait, I wanted that. Uh-oh. I didn't see the runes from those guys dying from that guy yet. Oh, yeah, I run right into that. Yeah, I bought that one. That was entirely my own purchase. Alright, come on. Yeah, that was funny. those guys are pretty easy when you can get them at range with Ruxling. Oh, now that I've died, I lost the room. Bummer. It is hard to break that guy's poise. You have to do this the old-fashioned way, drive-bys. Alright. Time to, like, actually focus up. Alright. Yeah. If I switch back to this guy, that gets me to medium low. Let's see. Doesn't change the fact that I'm still gonna nuke this guy from horseback. So kind as to not that's what I was trying to do that whole time. Yeesh. Now, in case it wasn't clear, it's funny to watch me play because I'm just not that great. With Godric, so that you can get to the tree? Is that one Godric? Wait, which one's the first Godric? Oh, the one in the Godric, the first Elden Lord. Are you using his spirit ashes? These guys, these things, the ashes. Which one do you have? The wolves? I think that's the one everybody kind of gets first. The wolves are probably the best generic all-around ashes. I mean, there are better, but in terms of they're just generally very good at most everything except causing magic damage, obviously. Um, it is. I use ashes in all my fights, so sometimes people, you know, make fun of me because they're like, "You're not playing it the hard way." Don't care. Um, if you crank up the wolf ashes as high as you can, they're still going to help in the fight. What they're pretty good at is they do poise damage and they can knock him down. He's going to kill them, but you should be able to stay away. Are you doing a full melee build? Because the catch is I'm not a melee guy. I'm a caster, especially when I do bosses. It's also possible, unless you're trying to do one of the like runs without using any runes or anything, it's also possible that you haven't gotten the levels to make that fight kind of on par. Because none of those the fights just get harder from there. The if you only have that one ash, there's probably a lot of content that you skipped, even unintentionally. Oh yeah, that's tough. 36 is I don't even think I entered Stormvale Castle at 36. I think I was probably in the 50s. What you probably want to do is, if you look at the map, if you look at the map, hold on, you're fighting. So all of the stuff that you're seeing on my map is all stuff that I've already done. I have not burnt the tree yet. The tree is still whole and intact. I didn't beat Godric until I had done pretty much all of this. And I was probably around a level 120, just by contrast. Maybe level 110, somewhere in that area. I would suggest that at a minimum you look for the... again, it's if you want to try and do it at a lower level, you probably want to get to the point where you're using, or if you don't want to use spirit ashes, then obviously don't, that won't matter. But you have to go to this, no, not this one. This shack right here. Stormhill Shack. There is Roderica, is that her name? Is in there, and you need to talk to her. Talk to her. She's going to give you one, which tells me that you end. Whenever someone says, if you look at stuff and they say talk to them, they mean keep talking to them until they start repeating themselves, or they won't talk to you anymore. Talk to her until you get everything from her, and one of the things you get from her is going to be a jellyfish. You want that anyway. There's a quest that will complete much later in the game up here. Up in this area, in the Stargazer's runes, you want to use that Ash of War, or don't use any. Excuse me, Spirit. Don't use any ashes in that area until you get to right where my pointer is. There's going to be another jellyfish. Summon your jellyfish ash with that jellyfish, and it'll finish a quest. Just in case you're looking at doing that. All right, back to this. So you want to talk to her at the Stormhill Shack. She'll be... So when you go to Stormhill Shack, Waiting for it to load. Okay. She will be... Oh, there's something there. That won't be there. She will be right here. In fact... She might be in this position, but she won't have the big ol' hat. She might not. Doesn't matter. Talk to her. She ain't there. Did you already talk to her? Okay. So, once you've finished with her... I don't think this is skippable content. The next time you go to Round Table Hold, you'll find her here. She'll be standing here. Talk to her. Talk to her until she has no more dialogue. Run over here. Talk to him.
Well,
okay, talk to her till she's out of dialogue.
you for dead.
Talk to him.
Now lay out your own.
There's going to be an option here that says something about her, Roderica or whatever her name is. Talk to him. You will run out of dialogue. Go back and talk to her. Go back and talk to him. Keep doing that until there's no more conversation about her. Then she'll appear here. You might need to reload to do that. Then she'll be here.
Greetings.
She'll have a big long dialogue. You'll talk back and forth with her, and she'll give you the ability to do spirit tuning, which lets you upgrade these like this. And I'm not going to use a Great Glove Ward on them, but they'll let you upgrade these ashes. This is whatever you have equipped, which I don't. And then these are, you could think of these as like basic ashes, and these are more advanced ones. And that'll give you the ability to upgrade these. And as you get them, if you want to look up and see which ones are really good, these are my recommendations. 1. Oh, so go back to her. So you'll talk to him, there'll be the Roderica conversation, go back, she'll be back over here by the fireplace. Talk to her here. Do the same thing. Finish out the conversation to where she's repeating herself or won't talk to you anymore. Then go back to him again. And he should have a new dialogue about her. Talk to the whole conversation about him. If you have more dialogue with him, go back to her. If nothing changes, you're done. Go camp out. All you got to do is go here and then come back, and then she should be gone, and you'll find her here. I'm guessing they're probably doing that right now. Also, have you been upgrading your weapons at this guy?
Well, where have you been hiding? I took you no matter. Lay out your own.
I actually just recently picked up a weapon that I want to upgrade, which is this. I'm on the 80s. Smithing Stone 1. Oh my goodness. So, have you gotten her to appear where she is? So talk to her, and you should be able to do spirit tuning. Is that the only one that you have? So the jellyfish are really not good in actual combat.
Back already.
I mean, it's better to have them than nothing. But they're a sniper type, which just means that they'll kind of float off on the edge and squirt. They basically jellyfish shoot them, which doesn't do much. Really? Alright, hold on. You need 12 of each stone to fully upgrade a weapon. Apparently I don't have enough. I didn't realize Milady used regular stones. Okay. 3. Ugh. So it, okay, well, okay, so that's just the first step. The problem is that you're level 36 and trying to do Godric. And you can. If you can learn all the movement sets and dodge all the things that he does, you can absolutely do Godric. There are people that do it at level 1. But it's freaking hard, because if he hits you once, you're dead. Are you doing a melee build? Wait, you have Bloodhound... Hold on. The blade, or you have the Bloodhound Ash? Okay, yeah, perfectly. That's an awesome sword. It's absolutely one that you can use. So, the one thing about the Bloodhound sword is, and others will be able to give you better advice on that one, is the move set that you want to use with that sword is different than what you would do with other ones. Hold on, let me get this done. Give me a sec.
Back already, no matter.
I don't know that you can on that one. I'll show you in a sec. I will mess with the Ash of War, but let me see if we can't figure out. Seven, yeah. I don't have the next. I had to go to Farm Azula to buy the rest. Okay. All right. So I need to pull that sword out of the cache. One moment. For those that may not know that you can do this. Okay. That's not what I want to do. Sort chest. Swords. Bloodhound's Fang. So, to put an Ash... Oh. You can do this any side of grace. So, to do an Ash of War, you go to a side of grace. The table acts as side of grace. And you go to Ashes of War. You pick whichever weapon you want to put an Ash of War on. Apparently I can put one on Milady, so I'm going to do that. And you pick whichever one that you want. I'm going to... I don't know which one I want. Lion's Claw. Why not? Now, these affinity granted, I'll explain this in a second. These affinity granted are, you get that Ash of War, but then its ability is based on which affinity you put in there. Meaning, so, standard, it has, see how it says, I'm pointing at the screen, great. So, see how it says physical, right now it has standard, that's what it already has. So, it's 243 plus 97. That's how much damage it'll do as a base, and its critical is 100. If I switch to heavy, watch the strength and dex. Strength went from D to... See how it says D to D, C to C, right? That's the class that your strength and dex will modify how much damage it does. If you switch to heavy, notice it goes from... Strength goes to B, meaning it's more strength heavy. So if you're high strength, low dex, you would want to do this. And in my case, I'm not. That's not a big thing for me. So if you look at the physical, the 243 becomes 225, so it does less base, but because of my stats, 97 goes to 138. So it's not a big gain for me, right? In a simple way, you could just add those two numbers, and whichever is bigger is how you want to go. Keen does the opposite. It makes dex the critical one. So you'll see that when I switch from... I have more strength than dex. So when I switch to dex, it's worse. When I switch to quality, it just makes it generally better. But it does it at the cost of the weapon itself, meaning that I get more stats but less base weapon. Magic, you'll notice, it goes from 143 to 190, but I get a whole nother 190. 190 plus 190, way more. That's like 380 points versus 243. So magic, because I'm an int build, notice int went from nothing to C, I gain a huge advantage from int. And the rest is going to be true for all of these. Sacred does holy, etc. Now, let's say that you know that you need to have a holy weapon to damage undead. You could use sacred to put holy weapon on it. All of these. The one concept is occult is like death buildup. No boss is affected by death buildup. So it's the most useless one of these when it comes to fights like bosses. I find cold to generally be the best one because frost buildup is massive and it does a huge damage bonus when it hits. Flame art is if you're a fire build, it's better than... Notice the 166, 166, right, goes to 193. So flame art is just a better version of fire. So each one of these is going to be better. I'm just going to put, I don't know, cold affinity on there. And that's all you do. So now the weapon has it. So going back in, I don't know if you've done this yet, but if you've been in here, you can go down into this area, you get into a fight. It's an invasion, you fight the guy, you kill him. But now this area becomes a place you can test your weapons and see what you want to do. You can melee in here, unlike the rest of the place. So if I change to, for example, that weapon I just got, right? This is what the attack sequence looks like for a heavy attack. Okay, so you're using the Bloodhound, which is here. So every other weapon, when you do an attack, you're going to advance into it or you do something nearby, right? So you do one step or you do a big step. Bloodhound, as you well know, you actually land backwards. So if I put... I'm putting a colored stone on the ground just so we have a point of reference. So notice I'm standing on the purple stone. When I do the attack, I end up behind the purple stone. This gives you a completely different footprint for how you attack creatures, especially bosses. So this is one where it's better to press into the boss and then it jumps you back. It's just handy. So if you get used to using this, great weapon for the whole game. If you get used to using it, switching to another weapon becomes more difficult. Just keep that in mind. It's strong attack, which is what I'm doing here. It's got 2 pumps. 1, 2, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4. That was a special attack. It's not. It's the end of the chain. Some weapons, the end of the chain is really obvious. Oh, I can't use that one. The end of the chain is really obvious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that takes 6 pulses to get that extra attack in. Sorry, I'm giving you a ton of information. So when you're fighting a boss, if you're trying to do melee and you have to extend out like 6 swings, the boss has to not hit you for those 6 swings, or you have to be able to take the damage that he does. So it's just something why people will sometimes go with these really heavy weapons because they'll like wham, and it's like one hit or two hits, and you get the big swings and you can run away really quick. So if you're using that weapon, you're going to be very... am I still using it? No. So if you're going to be using the Bloodhound's Fang, because of how long... or Bloodhound's Finesse. Yeah, Bloodhound's Finesse is the ability. So instead of trying to do this into the boss, right? Look at all that time the boss has to, like, stomp on you while you're sitting there swinging. You're going to run toward him. You're not going to jump right into his face, right? So let me go back to my purple here. So you'll notice that just you get close enough for this attack, and then you get away from him so when he does like a stomp attack, he doesn't hit you. And the key then is to time that attack. And by the way, you can practice stuff even all the way back on these guys. This is a place where you started, right? So if you go back to where you started, here, these guys are great to practice on. Just to get crit attacks and whether or not you can shield slam and... Hold on, okay, I'm medium load still. Obviously, one hit's going to do it. So I got too close. I didn't need to be that close when I went to kill that guy. So there's lots of mobs in the creatures in this area that you can attack. So here, maybe now... Nope. I don't know why it does that. That's a mystery to me. So as you go through... Oh. I didn't mean to do that. Let me go to two-hand hold so I can guard. So this guy's going to come at me and I can guard. Right? So he's going to hit the sword. And you notice my stamina goes down. Right? Godric's going to hit a lot harder than that. So see, I ended up jumping away from him. So this gives you you can use creatures like that. If you need a tougher one to practice on... Oh. There's a guy in here for that. So see that dude with the plume and the sword? Who knows how many times you actually rack this guy? So you can actually practice on him. You just need to clear all the other guys that would have been here. They're really low level for me. So one hit's going to kill most of them. Not this guy, though. So see, the key is the timing. If I had let that guy, he would have just pasted me with that spear. Like that. So the key is to time when your attacks come in, so that they don't hit you and instead you get your swing in. Oh, they're all coming now. They're all kinds of mad. Man. Like I said, I'm not a melee build. I'm a caster build. Anyway. Okay, so you've upgraded the Bloodhound until you got to level 4 stones? Okay, so, sorry, I hope I'm not boring everybody. I hope this is somewhat useful. What you need to look for, and again, this is entirely up to you. People have won this game at rune level 1, meaning that they never turn runes in for levels. They only do stuff like upgrade weapons and all that. People have done it just at speed run at level 1, and they've actually beaten the game. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it. I don't know precisely where the level 4 smithing stones drop for that. I went for what's called a bell bearing, which I don't have any on me. Let me go back to here. That's when you'll just have to look up. There are creatures in dungeons that drop them. And they're known. Sometimes you just loot them from a chest. What you do in here is you go to the Twin Maidens here, and there's an option to offer a bell bearing. Oh, I have one. When you offer a bell bearing, so let me cancel, show you what it looks like at least. Inventory. It's in here? Nope. Oh, remember earlier I mentioned the affinity, you could put fire and all that stuff on there? That's these whetstone knife and iron wet blade, glintstone wet blade. That's these. These give you the ability to do that. And they just exist in the world. You have to find them. Stormveil, I think, has the first one, and that's what lets you make it strong, I think. Each one of these allows you to put an affinity. So Sanctified Wet Blade allows you to put the holy damage on a weapon instead of strong or keen or whatever other options there might be. So this is just an item to look for. I'm not seeing... Hold on. Where would they be? Crafting materials, maybe? No? Ashes of War, melee range, arms, shield, head, chest, arms, legs, talismans, info, maybe? No? I was just hoping to show you what it looked like. It's a little sphere. It says whatever bell bearing. But I ain't seeing it. That's weird. Ashes. Huh. That's weird. Golden Seed. Skidoo Tree. Skadoosh? Yeah, I'm not seeing him. Not mad, just weird. Oh, there it is. So, see this? It's at the bottom of the key items. This Ghost Glovewort Picker's Bell Bearing 2. Okay. When I try and buy stuff from her, I can get Grave and Ghost Glovewort. But look what happens with Ghost. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. I'm missing 4, 5, and 6. Kind of like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing 7, 8, and 9. So I'm missing 4, 5, and 6 in here, right? So if instead I offer a bell bearing, I offer that one. Now when I go to do a purchase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Ghost Glovewort, 7, 8, 9. So there is a bell bearing for smithing stones. And if ideally you want to get those, that's actually the thing that you want, is the bell bearing for smithing stones, so that you don't have to run to get them. If you want to get them, What you want to do is to find dungeons that look like... This may not be one, but I'm going to check. Hold on. By the way, I very intentionally picked a mace. These guys. And in front of them will be smithing stones. But they only spawn once, so I've already looted this whole area, so there's no more stones in there, but these guys can drop them. You can also practice your critical strikes. And then they have a chance to drop the smithing stones. Now, the reason I picked the mace, these guys are actually partially immune to bladed and piercing weapons. So you need a smashing weapon, and that's what this one is. So you'll notice... Oh. See how when I hit, I still killed him, but it went like ka-chink, and like this, like, hold on. It went like ka-chink, like that, instead of it being like swing. That's because it's like hitting rock. So when you hit them, it's like hitting a wall. See how it went ka-chink, like that? That tells you that the creature, like that, stab, that was a thrust, it goes ka-chink, like that. That tells you that the creature is immune to that. There are ways to look it up anyway, but that's what that meant. The mace will do more damage because of the kind of weapon that it is. So it still went ka-chink, but it hit for enough. So these guys will, not these guys, but at the end of these tunnels, there'll be some boss, and some of those bosses will drop the bell bearings. Okay, so you want me to go in there and join you to beat the boss? Honestly, I've never done it. I have no idea how that's done. Seriously, I've never done it. I don't... Oh. Missed that guy completely. Those guys are just immune to hitting. Seriously, if you can tell me how that's done, I can help. As long as I don't need any add-ons or anything. And there's no promises. I'm not great at this game. As I'm sure others can tell you. Go back to... Oh, side note for anyone that's listening. Generally speaking, God boss mobs are highly resistant or immune to holy damage. So if you know you're going to be using it against them, Holy Ash of War is not a good choice. Which is why I'm first changing this Ash of War to... I still want Unsheathe, but I want Cold. Use the Tarnish Furled Finger. Let me make some changes then. Just making sure I got all the stuff that I want. So I have to go to where that place is, okay. It's funny that at level 36 you know all of that. Lord knows I don't. So in here is where I would do it. Okay. Wait, the first boss or the second one? To get into Stormvale or the one at the end of Stormvale? I apologize. I thought you were here. No, 36 is fine where you are. My total bad. That's funny, though. So you're trying to kill the guy who does the... who has all the stuff strapped to him and all that stuff? This one? Did you talk to Nephili Lu already? She's not in my game anymore, so... Well, technically she is. Hold on one sec. I'm clearing this so I can show you. So, as you... I assume that you came through here to get to this point. In this room, in here, where this blood stain is, there's someone you can talk to. Did you talk to her? Okay. It's a relatively short conversation. So once you're done talking to her, and it may have been there already, but if not, look on the ground around here. There should be a gold summon sign, and you can summon her to help you beat him. Alright, so... By the way, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to do it pretty quick. I got to log off in maybe 10 minutes. So, do I just use this Tarnish for Old Finger? Carno, are you there? What? What do you mean, like what type? A hybrid caster? If you're looking for the name of the tune, it's Banshee. PC. Oh, no worries, man. I don't mind. Oh, that's funny. Cancel summon sign. They don't mean cancel. All right, no worries. So, you should see a summon sign right about here. In any case, that's Nephili Lu. She's actually really important in the game later. You just don't realize it until if you follow the lore. But this right here is her summon sign. You can summon her to help you in this fight. And for this fight, use the wolves. Wolves are great in this fight. They'll just make a mess of things for a little while. They'll eventually die, don't worry about it. But they'll help you do some damage, and they'll help to break the guy. Phase 2 is actually the one that's really problematic. You want in Phase 2 to charge him. As soon as it goes to Phase 2, you're going to be like back up here, and he's going to be down where that Site of Grace is. As soon as you can, just immediately charge right into him and get some swings in, or the fire is just going to chew through you. And just so that you can see, oh, you saw, I have finished the Nephili Lu questline, and she'll end up in here.
Ah, back. Well then.
And by the way, if you leave this guy alone, you can buy an ancient dragon smithing stone from him. His bell bearing will not have it. You have to have him alive. Good luck with your fight, man. Sorry I couldn't help. So that, the build is around that Adula's Moonblade, by the way. Just for those that are still watching. Nice. Congratulations, man. Good job. Good job. Sorry, I totally misunderstood, man. I thought you were so much further in the game at level 36. I was like, respect. No, level 36 is great for where you're at. Oh, and here's something. In that castle, if you've been dying to Stormvale Castle, you may not have noticed this. Every time you die, like 10% of your runes are taken away. When you come back and pick up your rune pile. It's true. And the guy that was doing it was Gostock. That dude that I talked to, that merchant, that's the one that was doing it to you. You never get them back. I didn't know that my first playthrough. The son of a bitch probably stole 50,000 runes. Because I died so much in that castle my first playthrough. I didn't even believe that it was happening until I actually went through and looked at it. How'd that miss? How'd that miss? It was right on top of him. Alright. That was sad. That's right on top of the guy. And it just missed. What is up with that? I'm farting around. I'm not going to mind likes, of course. But I don't expect anything. I just kind of like helping. Ooh, stamina. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Carno. Thank you. Appreciated. See, everyone, that's how it's done. That hurt. I still have the fire set? I don't think I do. Alright. Yeah, heavy load. Alright, this basket dude's much tougher than the last one. Oh, there he goes. That's bad. Oh, come on. That guy. Alright, I'm out of time. How many times have I beat the game? I have 2 tunes on New Game 4. And then this, oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna camp it here. Yeah, I have 2 tunes on New Game 4, and this is a fresh playthrough. Obviously, I've done it before, but this tune has not done it before, and I did not finish the base game before coming here, which is, they intend you to do this before you finish the base game. That's how it's designed, although the stuff in here is harder than what's left in the base game, because the way they set it up. I may have the ability to, get a little bit better blessing anyway. Anyhow, thank you all for coming and watching. I will catch you next time. Please like, please follow, you know, the usual things. And I really appreciate it. Thanks, Carno. Good luck. Yeah, you too. Have a good night. And good luck pushing through. Don't feel like you're in a hurry. Enjoy the content. Check out the dungeons. And look for those bell bearings. They're hugely helpful.